Well, let's talk about this then, because things were in the middle of it. Because Variety are reporting that both Patty Jenkins's Rogue Squadron movie and Kevin Feige's Star Wars movie, they're not in active development. But Taika Waititi's is still in development, and he's going to take on a role similar in prominence to what he played when he played Hitler.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, in the movie where he played Hitler.
Yes.
What do you think of that?
Well, I mean,
The Patty Jenkins thing is not surprising.
I think they just forgot they cancelled it. They were like, we're going to announce something. We cancel a bunch of stuff, but it's like when you leave your house and you're like, did I forget one thing?
Yeah.
And they're like, we forgot to say we're going to cancel that thing.
We should have cancelled it.
We cancelled it a long time ago, technically.
Absolutely, yeah. So that's exciting, isn't it?
Very exciting.
It's interesting that the Taika Waititi one is staying. Like, why the Kevin Feige one? Is it because he's too busy with the Marvel stuff that's happening?
It must be, right?
Yeah.
Unless this is Ant-Man, Quantumania,
maybe it is.
Maybe the
You're on thin ice, Feige.
maybe the thin ice that every other creator has been dumped onto in the past with regards to Star Wars stuff has finally made its way up to Feige.
I think it's very possible that what they've done, he's come back in because he's back, your dad. He's not at as many family dinners because he's doing this. He's sorting brands, and I love that about him.
I love it also. I love this bit. It's not as fruitful for comedy, I think, as maybe we initially thought it would be.
Oh, really?
When we...
I disagree.
Okay.
I reckon we could just keep doing it forever.
I think so too.
Yeah. But
There's no skin off my bloody nose. I'll do it. I don't care.
He probably looked at the scope of everything was happening and went, is the best use of Kevin Feige to do a Star Wars thing or to kind of write the Marvel ship and like streamline all their stories so there's not a new Marvel thing every week.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And maybe it's just a sign of maybe they're doing clean slate Star Wars. I know there's been talk that maybe Kathleen Kennedy will leave soon, which wouldn't surprise me because it's been 10 plus years now since she's taken over. So she probably will step down in the next year or couple years.
They're probably like, we'll give you a huge payout.
Yeah,
exactly. You take it. You take your 10
but
years.
You need it. I mean,
She's probably up for long service leave.
No
She'd
doubt.
take 3 months off.
That's right.
Or 6 months on half pay,
Maybe do a Kentucky tour.
Maybe do a little Kentucky tour, sure.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm not surprised by cancelling of Star Wars and look forward to more of it in the near future, Mason.
Because that's what you like. The one thing you like the most is cancelling Star Wars stuff.
I kind of do,
It's what
Mason.
you live for. It's what you love.
I love whatever brand is in front of me and whatever they're doing with it.
But the surprising thing, I think, is maybe the Taika Waititi thing. Still creating. He's going to be in it also.
Yeah, apparently, yeah. So, I think he could make a great Star Wars movie or whatever it is.
Sure.
Could be a mobile game.
Yeah. And also, I'm not as invested in Star Wars as I am Marvel stuff. So if it turns out to be awful, no skin off my bloody nose, I tell you that much.
That's true. Look, I think he's generally like a great director. And I know we didn't love Thor Love and Thunder. You loved it.
I didn't like it at all. I thought it was awful.
But I think pretty much like most of his other stuff, I thought is like good and above, you know? So,
But I feel like the scuttlebutt is he's succumbed to some sort of Hollywood madness.
Okay.
Don't you feel that way?
Wait, is that something you think or just the scuttlebutt?
I think the internet thinks that. I think the internet is like, he's gone Hollywood mad.
I thought he'd be too old to succumb to Hollywood madness, but I guess it can affect anybody.
I think he's just like, well, maybe this is my only chance to have Hollywood madness.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
I better,
I don't think if I was in Hollywood, I don't think I'd take advantage of Hollywood madness.
Oh, you simply wouldn't?
I'm weak like that, Mason. You know? I just don't think I could lean into it.
Oh, you think it's not so much that you were so strong-willed you wouldn't. It's just they'd be like, hey, you want to come out and party? There's going to be drugs. And you'd be like, oh, man.
Yeah. Call my kids in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Because of time zones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I don't want to do big drugs with you.
I also don't want to do brunch because brunch is too early.
Yeah.
I'll do lunch maybe because I got to drive all the way out there.
Yeah.
Actually, that's my whole day because I have to drive back as well.
LA traffic and I don't know. It's the wrong side of the road here for me. No, thank you. No Hollywood madness for me. Anyways, let's get back to this investor call, which you love.
I love it.
There's nothing this is Bob Iger continuing, who's your dad.
Yep, good stuff.
There's nothing
really
in any way inherently off in terms of Marvel's brand. Do you think that's true? I think it's like the amount is off.
It's the amounts, and I was thinking about this week. I feel like the things that sort of cemented Marvel as a kind of a brand that people really love is kind of the same thing that's dragging it down now.
What's that?
Like
when everyone goes, "Whoa, what happened?"
Well, yeah, that just happened exactly. Like I feel like it was what tipped Marvel over the line. I think initially to mainstream audiences, like not like niche comic book audiences, was the fact that they were kind of quippy and a little bit disdainful of the whole situation.
And they look at something and go, "That's dumb, but I'm going to do it."
Well, exactly. Like in the Avengers, when if you jumped on the MCU with the Avengers, you'd not seen it before, and all of a sudden Thor is there with his his cape and his hammer and maybe his little hat or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is ridiculous. And then Iron Man's like, oh, does
Point
Mother
Break and
what is it? Yeah, no, like, does Mother know you weareth her drapes or whatever?
Yeah.
And you'd be like, I knew it. It does look stupid.
Oh,
and the cool guy in the movie said it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm on board with this kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think now the constant what's the word?
Referential.
Yes, the constant self-referential zeitgeist. Exactly.
It's in
that's
the
right.
ether.
It is in the ether, I tell you that much. But I think maybe
that was one of the gems. Go on, though. Go on.
I think that's maybe hamstringing a little at this point.
Yeah,
People
hamstrung.
You will be like Hemsworth.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, you would.
We're free associating.
Yep.
He's got hamstrings.
Hamstrung.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So go on, yeah.
Liam Hemstrung. But I think it's that, it's people like, maybe could we be a little bit more sincere? Like, the like Top Gun, for example. That's done huge numbers. Avatar's done huge numbers. They're very sincere. They're jokey sometimes, but they're...
So you think the tone needs to shift?
Maybe they need to change this tone somehow. I think, there might have to be a gradual shift.
Yeah.
Maybe
you're right. I think this idea that he's talked about earlier where sequels, like maybe it's not a good idea to go back third and fourth time. Mm-hmm. I think that's absolutely okay because I think one of the strengths of the leading up to the end of phase, whatever happened, we had a pretty clear indication of who were the main players are.
That's true.
And even this far into this latest phase, who's in charge?
Kang.
Yeah, I guess, but
and Kevin Feige.
Yeah, but they so I think, they kind of built that whole movie around Kang and this is the new threat and whatever. And I don't know whether that fully comes together at the end, but the marketing the selling point of that movie was this big thing is coming, and then at the end it's like, okay, is it? I guess. And then it's like...
But in a way, it was a very little thing.
But very good. But then they're like, well, Brie Larson, who's in charge? Is it Brie Larson and Benedict Cumberbatch? Is it the Hulk
still? Like who's even on the Avengers anymore?
Yeah, exactly. Like Captain America's gone, which is fine. I don't mind either. He's gone, Iron Man's gone, Chadwick Boseman is dead. Scarlett Johansson has stepped away. Mm-hmm. Thor's around, I guess, but he's not in charge because he's a goose.
Some of the Guardians are going to die because their contracts have expired.
That's right, exactly.
You're absolutely right.
So, and I think that can all be resolved when you bring out an Avengers movie and you put Tom Holland in the front and he goes, "I'm the boss." And and then but
yeah, you sure are, Slugger.
Yeah, it's not that I don't enjoy all of these characters because most of them, I would even say all of them, I do, but I do feel like that. You need sequels and to cross pollinate.
Absolutely.
To kind of know what is it? Yeah.
I reckon Midnight Suns, Wong is the leader.
Cool.
Yeah.
Love that.
Pretty good, right?
Yeah. Anyway, the rest of this quote.
Yes.
I think we're having...
From the earnings call?
Yes.
The Morgan Stanley earnings call.
Yes. I think we have to look at what characters or stories we're mining. And if you look at the trajectory of Marvel over the next 5 years, we're going to see a lot of newness. We're going to turn... back to the Avengers franchise, but with a whole different set of Avengers. And this I don't even mind. Mm-hmm. But also, that's not true necessarily because, you've got Hemsworth, you've got Ruffalo, you've got Captain Marvel. These are characters from, previous generations of whatever. So I don't know.
I also don't know.
Vision?
Don't know.
Where's he? I don't know.
Where is Vision? Where's their vision?
Great.
For the Marvel Cinematic Universe into the future.
Just less stuff is fine. Just less stuff. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I think you'll have bigger returns. I found that with my YouTube channel. I'm just I'm not going to do trailer breakdowns every week. I'm just going to be
you got way more comments of people going, where's your trailer breakdowns?
I didn't get that
Where are they? Well, look forward to them. I've bought some bots.
That's right. Anyways, let's move it along to more MCU stuff.
All right.
John Bernthal will play the Punisher again in Daredevil Born Again. Did you know that?
I did know that, actually, yeah.
Well.
Good, love it.
So.
How's the MCU Punisher going to be in terms of,
what does he do?
What does he do?
Yeah. It's going to be 18 episodes. It's going to be next year. And apparently Deborah Ann Woll and Alden Henson as Karen Page and Foggy Nelson will not be returning.
Now, is that true, or is it simply that they were not on the released, the call sheets that we'd seen?
Well, that's a great point. I probably got clickbaited.
You might have got clickbaited. Well, that's what I wanted, because it didn't say, nobody involved in Marvel specifically said they will not be back, as far as I know. It's just we got some, I think maybe some leaked call sheets or something like that, and Bernthal was on there, but they weren't. So it's maybe...
Who's to blame for this?
That's a great question. Feige, I guess.
Daredevil, I'll put him in the Avengers. That's a good. Yeah. That's a character.
That's a cat. That is. Oh, that's a. Character.
But that's what I mean. Like there are a bunch of characters in this where it's like you could easily build an Avengers team and then some out of this and just kill half.
Yeah,
and then which they
knock
did.
Them right off.
They did in the previous movie.
But for reals.
Yeah, but for real. But like, there's plenty here. But what does that look like? Like who's? I guess they're building to it. Anyway, as long as there's infinite movies.
As long as there's infinite movies, right?
Yeah, that's right. Trailers are fine.
Beautiful.
Oh, Daredevil, good. Punisher, good.
Yeah, I'm very curious in, a character who is, his signature extreme violence. What are they going to do with it in the MCU?
More violence.
You think more violence?
I could pair him up with I know he's going to be with Daredevil, but pair him up with someone you wouldn't. Like put him with Thor or like Doctor Strange. That's happening in the comics. So they have a cool, weird interdimensional story together.
Yeah. Team him up with Flash Thompson.
Yep.
MCU Flash Thompson.
Team him up with Groot.
Nice.
Baby Groot. Because that's cute.
Got to keep him in his
Team him
little
up with Grogu. Something to think about.
That is something to think about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trailers ahoy.
Team him up with Yaddle.
Yaddle's dead, Mason.
What?
Yeah. She got squashed by a door or something.
What?
Yeah, Duke killed her or something.
What? What is this from?
In Tales of the Jedi. You watched it.
Did I?
Yeah, I think we did an episode on it.
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, she'd be dead anyway. It was a long time ago.
It was a long time ago. Well, Yoda's 900. Maybe Yaddle was 12. No, that is because then she'd be Grogu. She couldn't. I don't know.